The U1 now avoids going through the centre of town and also Lower Oldfield Park due to ongoing roadworks on Brougham Hayes. Meanwhile, the U2 now travels through Twerton and Whiteway instead of heading back up Bathwick Hill via Lower Oldfield Park.
So why is this a problem? The bus routes have a significant influence on where students choose to live and impact the cost of rent. Virtually all students had committed to housing contracts long before the route changes were announced in July. These changes have at short notice isolated many students from the bus routes. This has caused huge problems as students walk to their nearest bus stops. Several stops have seen huge queues and close to 2-hour journey times during the first week of term.
This diagram shows where students live versus where the buses now travel. However, the council's student population statistics do not distinguish between UOB and sparse students, and so this graph will not be 100% representative.
The Students' Union immediately created a Facebook group to collate feedback from students using the bus service. Some students were paying for taxi services or walking to campus, despite having paid for the annual bus pass. Others reported that buses were stopping mid-route, forcing students to walk home, and there was further evidence of a driver shortage.
Those who are dependent on living near to bus stops are the worst affected, with one student telling Bath Time that disabled students may have chosen a house purely because it was close enough to a bus stop for them to live off campus, but now they may have to arrange alternative transport. Getting funds for this at very short notice can be extremely difficult. This has coincided with First increasing the price of bus tickets across the board compared to last year, despite the disruption to services. But how and why has this happened? James Freeman, Managing Director of First West of England, says that the rerouting of the buses was due to pressure to improve congestion and air quality in the centre of Bath.
Subsequently, Baines councillor Mark Shelford has responded to this statement, stating that while the council discussed routing buses out of the city centre where possible, they were very surprised when First Bus announced the U1 route changes. In response to First Bus suggesting that they had made these changes at the council's request, Councillor Shelford responded that was incorrect. Mr Freeman then corrected his previous statement, saying that while route changes were discussed with the council did not explicitly request those changes.
Also regarding the roadworks at Brougham Hayes, Mr Freeman said, "Unfortunately, we were not consulted about the closure of Brougham Hayes. First claimed they would have recommended avoiding term time for these roadworks if they'd been told about them in advance."
So why is the U2 route changed? U2 route changes were designed to combine the old U2 and 20A/20C routes to serve both the local schools and the university, making the service significantly slower than before for getting to the university. Perhaps this partially explains why the buses are so overcrowded. First claims that the uni buses have seen a higher number of customers travelling on both services than we have in previous years. In addition, First Bus have admitted to being short-staffed for uni bus routes, and this is why some bus services have been stopping mid-route and operating less frequently.
So what's happening to solve this crisis? Buses will not travel through Oldfield Park until the roadworks are complete. Nobody can do anything about that now. Meanwhile, First have apologised for the disruption, saying that extra staff and vehicles have been hired, providing 900 seats per hour on the U2 and U1 routes. SU President Eve Alcock has proposed a change, with local MP Wira Hobhouse's approval to get buses back into the city centre, using the less polluting double-decker buses on the old U1 route through the city centre, while the more polluting bendy buses will travel the old U1X route through Oldfield. However, no changes are likely until January 2019.
So is this enough? To an extent, the damage is already done. It's unacceptable for a business to simultaneously increase prices and fail to provide the service promised to its customers. First offers a refund policy on late buses. However, there were no provisions made for compensating season/year ticket holders for poor service, which will continue to be disrupted for the foreseeable future. While First is making good on its promise to solve overcrowding issues, the U1 will not serve Oldfield until the end of October at the earliest, and the new U2 route is still significantly slower and less useful than the old route. Some students want refunds for what they think is an unacceptable level of service.
Perhaps lack of competition is a problem. Previously, First was in competition with Wessex, which forced them to keep their pricing competitive and their services operating smoothly. Without this, First has far less incentive to keep their routes functioning well, especially as a large proportion of their revenue comes from upfront season ticket sales.
I kind of regret buying it, but then at the end of the day, we don't really have a choice because there's no other way. And even though walking is an option, but it's not nice to be walking for an hour every single day, up Bathwick Hill. That walk kills. So this is literally the only option we have.
A lot of my friends bought a bus pass. They're regretting it now. they wanted a refund as well.
Did you buy the annual pass for the buses?
No, I didn't, but I'm going to have to buy one, so it's literally the only way to get up here.